Mike and Heather from 105.1 The Buzz joining us live. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning. So, Amy Winehouse, we're going to have a biopic. It's coming out. We saw the trailer. What's it look like?
Yeah, the trailer was released late yesterday afternoon. Back to Black is set to hit theaters on May 10th, and it looks really good. It is starring Marissa Abella, who is pretty much, she's not an A-list celebrity. She's been around for a little while. She was in the TV show industry. She had a brief appearance in the Barbie movie. But she is going to be portraying Amy Winehouse, and it's really going to focus on her meteoric rise to fame. If you remember back in the day, when she bursted onto the scene, we really didn't know where she came from, how she came from, because the story was all the way back in the UK, and she just kind of took over the world. And this is set to be released. It's been 13 years since Amy Winehouse passed away. So I'm actually looking forward to getting a little bit more background into her story and seeing how it played out.
Yeah. 13 years.
I feel like, I feel like she is one of those stars kind of in the realm of like Kurt Cobain, Jimi Hendrix, where they died
Club.
so young, right?
Yeah.
You know, as their star was rising. And it's just one of those like, oh my gosh, what could have been? It's so sad.
Totally.
The 27 Club. You know what's crazy to me? I always think, where would our music industry be if those people were still alive?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, many of them could still be alive today because they were so young.
Kurt Cobain is a perfect example of that, of course.
Died.
Yeah.
So, she was one. She came out of nowhere. She was poised to just take over the music industry and sadly passed away so young. So
with the biopic, it is interesting, and I actually said this before coming on. Like, I admittedly don't know a ton about Amy Winehouse. I know generally her story, her battle with drug addiction and rehab, and I do know that side of it. But sometimes when these artists do die this young, Jim Morrison from The Doors, right? That's another one. You know, these musicians become almost mythical. You know, like they're like
Janis Joplin,
right?
You know,
So
the
it's
list goes on.
So it'll be interesting to see the biopic truly from like an educational standpoint more than necessarily even just pure entertainment. So fascinating.
Yes. You're exactly right, Travis. I think that's what most people do know about Amy Winehouse was her struggles, because she became so famous so quickly, took over the music industry, and then it was poof, gone. So it'll be exciting to get that background on her. And I like when they don't put top-notch stars in these kind of movies, and hopefully that can build up Marissa Abella's stardom too.
Yeah, totally.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, hey, everyone's been talking about the new Mean Girls movie. It's coming out soon. It's the musical, the movie adaptation of the musical that was an adaptation of the original movie, if you can follow all that, right? So Tina Fey is kind of weighing in on why the original cast of Mean Girls is not going to be a big part of this new movie.
Yeah, it hits theaters tomorrow. They had the premiere in New York on Monday. Lindsay Lohan, obviously from the original cast, was in attendance at the premiere, looking great. But she basically said all the original stars were just too busy. They wanted to have them involved in the movie and the concept somehow, some way, even if it was just brief cameos. But they weren't going to do it if they couldn't get everybody in the movie. And just with their schedules, they couldn't do it.
What else are they doing?
Yeah, like what are they doing?
This is Mean Girls. What are you doing?
I know. It's always interesting. You never know like what people are working on because there's such a timeline delay between when something is shot and when it actually comes to theaters. So I don't know if they've got some other projects going on. You know, people. Go ahead.
Did they do a commercial together?
They did.
They did.
So like they had time.
They did. Yeah, they did get them together for a commercial. Maybe it was like a one-day shoot and the price is right kind of thing. But it's interesting. People who are fans of the original movie but haven't seen the musical might not know that, you know, some of the people who originally brought the musical to Broadway are in this movie. We've talked about it a little bit on the show. Renee Rapp was the original Regina George on Broadway.
Gotcha.
And she's Regina in this movie.
Well,
So
that's cool.
It's definitely, I would say, just because the original cast isn't in it does not mean that it's not packing star power. I think it's going to be a good show.
In that trailer, I love Tim Meadows. I think he's sneakily very, very
Some of the
funny.
teachers did come back.
Yeah, I'm excited that he's in it.
I feel like, if anything, it's going to bring Mean Girls to a younger generation, too, who maybe didn't watch the original movie.
Yeah, because it's 20 years old.
Okay.
which is mind blowing.
Please don't remind me. Please.
Yeah, I know.
Please
That's
don't
how I'm
remind me
feeling
of
right now. I
Oh.
remember seeing that as a kid, and I was like, "Wow, okay."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I quote it to this day.
Yeah.
Stop trying to make
Yeah.
fetch happen.
The burn book is now when somebody's notes app in their phone.
Ooh,
That's how.
yeah.
It's been 20 years and we can't make fetch happen.
Oh, no.
I mean, we
It still
can.
can't happen. But now, yeah, they bring social media into it and everything.
Oh
It's gonna
my
be
gosh,
fun.
it's gonna be wild. All right, Mike and Heather, we'll see you tomorrow.
So yeah.
See
Take care,
ya.
guys.
And as always, you can listen to Mike every weekday morning on 105.1 The Buzz and catch Heather at 9 on 105.1 The Buzz.